On average, Americans spend 38.7 hours per week making a living. LeBron James averaged the 8th most minutes per game in the NBA with 37.2 minutes, giving him an estimated 1,786 minutes or around 30 hours in the entire NBA season. While that seemingly isn't very much time considering the amount of money they make, there's much more than meets the eye. Players often take different routes to become professional athletes, but all of them seem to have one thing in common. Time must be put in to succeed. How much time, we may ask? Let's dive into the time it takes to become a pro athlete, NBA edition. There's no doubt that it varies by sport and person as to the amount of time it takes to take their skill to the next level. Let's start the series with a sport founded in 1891 and has since been dominated by the Boston Celtics with 17 finals victories: basketball. Each team plays 82 games per season with a duration of 48 minutes per game. Some of that may be downtime or bench time. And older players like Larry Byrd and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar have averaged close to full games as far as minutes. We'll focus on the players that have major success in the modern day sport. Given the hours LeBron puts into games, that equals less time in a season than a full-time job's weekly hours. Much more time is put in at practice, and on top of that, successful players endure a good amount of personal training. We could estimate the hours, but the more I looked into the topic, the quicker I realized it goes much deeper than the hours put in during their everyday lives. It typically starts at a very early age. First, let's dive into a player that nobody knew about until his senior year in high school and was found by accident by a college recruiter. His name is Ja Morant. He wasn't even ranked by any scouting services or recruitment listings. Before he was discovered, his passion and skill level seemed to already be somewhat intact. In high school, he was already a dominant force in basketball despite being overlooked due to the lack of exposure. He became the all-time leading scorer at Creekwood High School in South Carolina. This high school was not known for its sports, meaning his practice regime then must have been very standard. Does this mean he was just lucky and gifted with natural talent? Although there may have been some luck involved, he definitely wasn't born an NBA star. This takes us to what may be the luckiest break in young Ja Morant's entire life. Being approximately 500,000 players in America, he got himself into a very lucky shoe brand's open gym where scouts would be checking out young talent. Since Ja wasn't on any radar in his class, he found himself in the back gym of the open gym, waiting for a 5v5 breakoff. A man named James Kane, an assistant coach from Murray State University, didn't eat on a 7-hour drive to the event, so he found himself at a vending machine near the back gym. This is where he ran into an old friend, was having a conversation with a view of the gym, and he spotted Ja tearing it up during his conversation. After keeping him somewhat of a secret weapon, he stayed in contact with Ja and his family. He was invited to the Morant household for one of their Sunday cookouts, where he saw firsthand the crazy work ethic of the young talent. They had tractor tires, parachutes, cones, wooden planks, among other training gear. Ja Morant put in the time to become the best player he possibly could, and when the opportunity fell from the sky, he capitalized on it. After attending Murray State and averaging 18.7 points, 8.2 rebounds, while shooting 52% from the field, the rest was history. The next player on the list needs a little introduction. He was a 5-time Finals champion, 2 times Finals MVP, and 18-time NBA All-Star. Kobe Bryant.
In trouble, forced out, and unbelievable! How hard that shot is to make. Wow!
He wasn't only considered a volume shooter, he was a volume player that probably put in more time to his craft than most professional athletes. He's simply regarded to as one of the greatest to ever do it. A player at this caliber and with those accolades most definitely put an insane amount of time throughout the years. This is very well outlined in his motion picture Dear Basketball. He looked up to Michael Jordan as a young boy and he wanted to follow in his footsteps. Easier said than done, that's for damn sure. From that point on, he began to practice daily with many desires, but a focus on his all-around game given his physical attributes.
His technique was flawless. I wanted to make sure my technique was just as flawless.
His biggest goal was to be better than Michael Jordan. His road to success is documented as one everlasting grind with more than 1,000 shots a day included in extremely intense physical training. In high school, he averaged 30.8 points, 12 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 4 steals, and 3.8 blocked shots. An absolutely absurd stat line at the Lower Marion High School, which is a college prep high school who has a very good sports program with many accolades themselves. His journey to success was without a doubt a lifelong dedication to the game of basketball.
You want first place, come play with me. You want second place, go somewhere else. Like I would watch Magic play. I'd watch Michael play. And I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, you know, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out.
That's why he's the best player in the game.
Our next player is coined as one of the greatest three-point shooters in history, with the ability to explode at any moment of any given game. Son of Michael Thompson, Klay Thompson is another player who has an undeniable passion for competition. The road to success for Klay may have been somewhat streamlined, having a father who had a very interesting and lucky road to the NBA. There definitely seems to be a theme of some sort of blueprint to success in the NBA that includes early dedication and sometimes with luck involved. Back to Michael Thomas. He grew up in the Bahamas and was accidentally found when a recruiter was looking for a Charles Thompson and was directed to Michael Thompson's doorstep instead. He had the correct height and complexion to be a basketball player, so he ended up bringing him back to the States anyway. Although it was a gamble, it definitely worked out for every party involved, as Thompson became a #1 overall draft pick in the 1978 NBA draft. Klay was brought up by a successful athlete who shed skill and mental secrets that inevitably led to the rise of Klay Thompson. He was an overall athlete as a young boy and happened to play Little League Baseball with a fellow NBA star, Kevin Love. He also played football in high school before he decided to focus solely on basketball. In high school, he helped lead his team to a 30-5 record and a D3 state championship. He became a 4-star recruit and ended up going to Washington State, where he'd spend 3 seasons contributing to very solid basketball squads. He became the school's 3rd leading scorer of all time at Washington State before being drafted 12th overall by the Golden State Warriors. After that, most people know his story, working with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and even Kevin Durant to get a few NBA championship rings.
Appropriate. For NBA history, you got it! 14 threes in a game! Has never been done until tonight.
Overall, it is impossible to dive into the exact amount of time it takes to become a professional basketball player in the NBA, but one thing is definitely certain. It takes a lot of dedication and hours to even have a chance at success. On top of that, it seems like the best opportunities come during a time when individuals have the most free time and don't have to make a living or focus on other paths to success. With the internet these days, and the potential to go viral, it opens a door for talent to be found easier. But there are many cases where viral stars already haven't found success in the NBA. This proves that even with the correct opportunities, only the ones who pour their lives into the sport early will capitalize on finding success in the NBA.